Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Handmade by Ying with Donna. Today I am a little bit behind and I'm playing catch up and I'm working on the Piazza for cotton cuts and I'm working on Clue 8. My cohort's out of town roughing it in Las Vegas. Can you imagine? So I'm going to go ahead and streamline it. I've already did 3 of the blocks of one kind and 3 of the other, but I'm just going to go ahead and streamline this and show you where I'm at in the process. We're almost coming to the end of this, and then my cohort and I, Anne-Marie Mikowski, will get together and we're going to figure out a good way that we can put this together and create a nice video for you guys. So hang tight. We're going to slip down now and you're going to be able to watch this baby come together. So this is my color wave. And I'm telling you right now, I love every color in it. And I love the way that they have them marked A, B, C, D, E, and F. And then they give you your binding color as well. And it's coming together really gorgeous. I've not had to trim. Some people have. I've been lucky and not missed any of my parts either. So I didn't need my oops kit. So for this section here, I'm doing 8B. And all it is basically is you're going to make 4 flying geese. So let's get this last piece on. I went ahead and did this little section here. So like I said, I could streamline this into a shorter video format since I'm the one that's delayed here. So basically all you're going to do is do your standard flying geese. And you're going to really watch how you're nudging up these corners. And if you do everything the way that all of the ones that are showing you, everything's cut perfectly. So you're just going to bring it over and you're going to drop your presser foot, drop your needle, and then your machine won't even attempt at that gathering it up. And we're just going to go really slow and get this one in. And this will be the 4th of the 4. And a couple of my friends recommended when I'm doing the cotton cuts, because my machine for some reason really loves to eat the fabric at that first little join. I also really use my acorn pen with the cotton cuts. I just prefer to do that, and it lines everything up really nice and it keeps it good and flat for me. And all of my seams, good Lord willing, everything's going to come together really nice when we do this joining of this. And this is number 4. And look how it's flat, it's pressed, and now this makes my 4th. So, like I said, this is the 8B section. And flying geese always come together really easy. So that's where I'm at on that. I'm going to slide this up. I've already done my count, and I've already got everything laid out pretty much the way that it's going to need to go. But for me, I'm going to go ahead and start joining here. What you're going to do is make it to where it's lining up. Let me pull my little graft here. So right here in this little section here is where I'm working, and this is called section 8A. So we're going to take away this, and right now I'm just building my D parts onto my C section, and I'm going to streamline and I'm going to sew right here first. And I'm dropping my needle so that we should not have any issues. And I like to pin anything that I'm working on. It just makes my seams come together really nice and tight. Cut my extra strings off. Move this out of the way. Acorn pen. You don't have to, but it's just something I prefer to do. And finger press it. And now this one is here. Whoops. Making sure I've got everything lined up the way it needs to be. So right here, a sure tell way of making sure that you have it laid out right is just lay it out separately from where you've got it. So I'm going to fold this one over and join it right here. And lining my corner up and slipping this in, I'm just going to slide it straight over and drop my needle and go real slow. And sometimes my machine just still grabs it, no matter how I do it, fresh needle or not. It's just once in a while, it's this D fabric my machine just loves to gobble up. Acorn pen, you don't have to, I just prefer to. I'm going to finger press it and then give it a little bit of heat left. Then I'm going to lay it back down like this, and I'm going to fold this one in this way. And we're going to repeat the same thing. Drop the needle. Pull it out just a little smidge. And we're going to get it going. Cut off all the strings that you can because you don't want those laying around in your project. And slide this over. Acorn pin again. And I love the way it makes my seams lay. You'll hear me use acorn pin a lot in all my projects. So this little section is almost complete. Now we're going to take the large section A and we're just going to flip it over and join this together. The way that I choose to do mine is line my corner up right here and just give it a little bit of finger loving. Get it straight in. You can pin, but this one's not going to shift. Drop my needle and go real slow and watch your 1/4 of an inch. Once again, trim your strings. Acorn pin, straight down the seam. Move my little stack there. Finger press it right open. And just give it that little touch of heat that it needs. And it's going to lay really, really flat. So this one's done. So I'll lay this little section aside, move my paper. Now I've got 3 little sections here in order to build. So I'm going to slide them down here and flip it over. And I'm going to just streamline and get all 3 of these in at once. And what it is I'm taking section E and D, B and E, and E and D, and we're just joining those together. Whoops. And double check and make sure everything stayed lined up because we are moving things around a bit. I'm going to pop the pin on that one so it's not in my way. Stay true to your 1/4 inch and watch. If you're using seam guide, it really helps here. And as you can see, my machine just loves one of these fabrics. And it just loves to take little nibbles. It's not every month, it's just when I have one certain fabric. Acorn pin. And like I said, you don't have to. It's just something I prefer to do with mine. And give it a little press and a little bit of heat love. Repeat all 3 times. You set your seam, flip it over, finger press, and apply heat. One more time. And repeat. To make sure that you have it laid in the direction that you want to lay it out a little bit ahead of the time. So I'm going to lay, this is my E fabric to my D. Then I'm going to take the next one, which is my B to my E. And you're going to have this little line starting right here. Then I'm going to take my E fabric and join it right here. And I have this wee little block. And this block is my C fabric. So I'm just going to do the fold over. And I'm going to streamline these in. Wiggle it in to make sure everything's lined up. I'm going to drop my needle. And we're going to get it going. I'm going to bring this one over. And I'm going to make sure I've got it lined up. Some people saying that they've had the trim. So far I have not. It tells you the sizes that each block should be. And I'm really working my best to stay at my true 1/4 inch. If you do it all the way through, everything should line up in the end. But we're going to see. This is my first Piazza, my puzzle mystery quilt. So we're going to see. And we're going to streamline it right there. A little bit of acorn love. Set the seam and fold it over. And you'll note that seam went this way, so this seam's going to go the opposite because these have to nest. So when I do this, I'm going to finger press it the opposite direction. Or you can press them open, whatever works for you. Bring them back down in front of me to make sure that as I'm joining these, they're lining up. And just flip it over. And now you're going to want to pin because you want these to nest really well. And we are almost finished this block. Like I said, these come together really quick. I recommend doing your counts, laying everything out in the order, in the sequence that the pattern tells you to do, and just streamline and have fun sewing it. Acorn pin. Set your seam. Now we're going to open it up. And as you can see, it nested really well. So I'm going to lay it back out. I need this block to be in the top corner. And now I'm going to take this block and you're going to see the magic happen. So I'm going to make sure it nests here. So when I fold it over, I'm just going to spin it and pin it. I'm going to pin it right there. Take both of my corners now that I've got that in and just give them a little pinch to make sure everything's going to line up where you want it. Drop my needle. And I'm back to that one fabric that my machine doesn't like. I'm going to pull the pin right here. Snip your seams once again. Acorn pin. Set your seam. Flip it open and press it down. I love the way everything lines up with cotton cuts. It's going to look really pretty when this one's done. Now at the end, we're going to take the A fabric And we're going to flip it up and we're going to marry it together right there. Bring it down as close as you can to the bottom, and you're going to streamline it straight in. Drop my needle. Go slow. And right here, you just want to sew it straight. Stay true to your 1/4 inch. Now I'm coming down to the end, and we all know that at the end, things get wiggly sometimes. So just give it a little bit of pressure and hold on to it until you get it all the way up under your needle. That way your fabric's not going to shift on you, and it's in. Trim your little strings. Acorn juicettes. Move this blocks out of the way because I'm going to need a bigger area. And you're doing this same block 4 times. I'm telling you, you get a lot of bang for your buck with cotton cuts. And you just press it down, and this block is now complete. So give me just a second to finish getting this one in. Pressing it flat. Everything lines up and it looks really nice. You can see all the junctions line up, all the corners line up, everything really nests well. So I can put this one back in its handy little bag, marked month 8. Let me slide this out of the way. And all we do is set them aside, back in their packaging. And what I like to do is just shake it. I've got my other 4, and I'm going to lay them like this. And I'm just going to fold it over and fold it over again. And it's going to nest right back in that bag. I like to keep month 8 showing because as we get ready to assemble this, we'll be able to pull it straight out of the bag, store it back in the bag it came in, and this one is done. And just seal your bag, your month 8 showing, and now month 8 is done and I'm waiting on month 9. Thank you guys for joining me as I work this project, and I'll see you back as I begin the next one for the next puzzle mystery quilt. And I'm telling you what, the spring one, Village Green, is off the hook, and I picked Hollyhock. So I'll see you back in another video as I work month 1. Take care, God bless, and have a fabulous day.